Should your business build custom software or buy an existing tool? This single decision may cost or save you a ton of time and money. Build or buy, that's been a long time discussion, and I've heard arguments on either side. The answer is, it depends. That's not a very good answer, I know. We're going to dig into that a little bit further, and I'll have a decision matrix for you that you can use to decide whether you should build, buy, or customize. That's really three options. I'm Matt, I'm your CTO, and today we're going to dig into that. I have 25 years of experience building software. That's normally my go-to, but that doesn't always mean that's the right answer. In my quarter of a century of experience, I've worked on tons of different projects with tons of different teams. I've seen the benefits and pitfalls of both of these approaches. I'll give you some insight, and hopefully you can walk away with a better idea and an understanding of how you can decide whether it's a build versus buy. All right, so what you need to do first is clarify your business goals. What are your business goals and what are your business needs? A lot of times CEOs will say, I need to build an app. They really want to build an app. And when you start digging into that, well, why do you need to build an app? And they'll give me a reason. And then, well, why is that? And you ask the 5 whys. You keep digging down 5 layers, and then at the bottom, they don't really need to build an app, or they do. That's the whole point is, do you really need to build an app? So let's dig into that. That's the very first thing you need to ask yourself. And then once you decide you do need something, for instance, let's say you have a warehouse management system, you're in 3PL logistics. If you need a warehouse management system, do you want to build one for yourself or buy it? You probably, in that situation, that's a pretty basic thing. No one's building their own. Very, very rarely are people building their warehouse management systems. They're usually buying them and then maybe customizing them. So if it's something like that, that's really a buy scenario for the most part. Now, let's say that you have a customer portal and some back office applications. I've done some work in the live event space. It's very specific to their industry and to the events that they're running. That's a build situation. So looking at those two situations, the business goal is to run your business more effectively. That's the business goal. One of the goals could also be we want to cut down calls coming to the office. We want to streamline operations. We have a limited budget and a limited team. We don't want to hire more people. That's a business goal. All those business goals come to the decision of, for the live event space, we need to build some custom software. If there's a feature that's critical to customer experience or even more importantly, revenue, that's probably a build it type of answer. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is map out the matrix that you need to decide. In the build versus buy, what is the customization cost? What is the time to market? What's the overall cost of ownership? The stability, integration points, maintenance, and long-term value. Integration points are interesting. I talked to one CEO. He was proud of himself that he had over 300 zaps in Zapier. That sounds like a nightmare. Don't do that, because that's 300 things you have to manage. When one of those things doesn't work, well, if any of those integration points are within system Z, right? The system over here, all the integration points, when that changes, you have to change all the zaps that go to that integration point. It's not that simple. But if you have a system that does that integration for you, then when that changes, you change in one place, it changes all the integration points. Okay, so build, you have highly customizable and highly maintainable long-term value. You have full control over the platform. You have full control over the tools. You can make enhancements and feature changes as you need to. Buy, you're going to have fast deployment, so you're quicker to market. You're going to have a lower initial cost. You may have a higher maintenance cost, and you could have potential long-term limitations. So when you look at that cost-benefit analysis, build is going to be more expensive up front, and buy will be more affordable up front. Look at expenses at a 5-year plan. What does that look like total? So if you have, I'm going to just throw some numbers out here, $100,000 to build something, and then the maintenance cost is a lot lower versus $5,000 a month, you can see that 20 months would equal your $100,000. So then your only difference would be your maintenance costs. So if the maintenance costs are lower, then you can evaluate how long it will take you to save money or save features or have a better product. It's all just a trade-off. It's not an easy decision. It's not a straightforward decision, maybe I should say. Once you do that, the third step is your cost, risk, and time analysis. So like I said, your 5-year total cost of ownership, and then you need to also assess your internal team expertise and what is needed with outside hires or consultants or contractors to partners to get that over the finish line. You'll want to identify any major risks, vendor lock-in, a migration plan and the pain points involved in that. You have security and compliance that also comes into play. And when build versus buy, don't just look at development costs. That is going to be your biggest cost center, but include support, integration, upgrades, and future maintenance. Once you have that, then you have your total cost of ownership over 5 years. And then moving forward, roughly every 5 years, you're going to have a major release if you build it. So once you do that every 5 years, you should plan on a major implementation like this. Your first release is going to be more expensive. Your second one will be cheaper. It just depends on your business and what you need 5 years from now. You are not going to know that, but you can estimate, 50 to 75% of your initial 5 years will be your second 5 years of development. Okay, so here are some key decision criteria that you need to look at. There are 6 critical questions. The first one is, how critical is this to your business? Warehouse management for a 3PL, that is your business. The back office software for a live event client, that is their business too. So that's a 10 out of 10. Number 2, will it provide a competitive advantage? Yes or no? This is nice and simple because it's yes, no. Think of that as, what are your competitors doing? What are they not doing? How can we outmaneuver them? How can we provide better service or better experience to our customers? That's your competitive advantage. The third one is, what option keeps things simple for the team? Okay, now this is a dodgy one sometimes because we don't want to get stuck in, this is the way we've always done it. What we want to look at is it a simplification for your team? I've talked about system integration. This is a good point. If you're developing a system that integrates with multiple systems and your team only has to use one system, then green light, go build it. All right, number 4, time to value. How quickly do you need that solution? Can you limp along for 6 months or a year and build your ideal product? Or do you need to make a change now? Is it that dire? Could you hire more people while you build something? Implementation with an off-the-shelf, a buy option, that doesn't mean that it is quick and cheap, and your time to market is quicker, but there still is some time that it takes for you to implement that solution. Okay, number 5, do you have the in-house skills to build and maintain it? Some clients have 0 developers, and so we'll bring in a team. We will build products for them if that's what they need, and then they have to have that team together to maintain the product. That'll be a part-time role, but at that point, you're still supporting the product. Can you commit to that? I think that's really what you need to assess. Or if you already have in-house tech support and development, you're set. Even on a buy option, you still will need someone to be the point of contact, anyone that will file any bugs with the vendor. There's still some time that needs to be spent in there to maintain that relationship with that vendor. And then the 6th one is, will you own the data, features, and updates over time? So the data should be yours. Even if you're using a SaaS product, you own the data. You should be able to export that data. And then features, that is with a build option. You own all the features. With a buy option, you are fighting to get the features done that affect you. But if you're a smaller client, the SaaS vendor is going to use what most of their clients want, not what one small client wants. So that's another piece of data that you need to use to decide build versus buy. So go through each of those 6 and weigh each one, score both options, and then rank them by priority. The next step is to look at the hybrid option. Is there an option where you can buy something and then customize it to fit your needs? Consider that approach for non-core functions or a core function that you need to augment with some customization. Look for some existing SaaS tools that have an API that you can look for existing SaaS offerings that you have an API you can hook into, and how you can extend those and customize those as needed. You can do a quick pilot program. A lot of these SaaS offerings offer a 30-day or a 14-day trial. See if you can hook into those APIs and get a little traction with a prototype or an MVP to see if you could interact with that system the way you need to. Also talk to people in your industry. What are they doing? What are they using? How can their knowledge help you out, make a decision quicker? Okay, so here's a quick checklist. It's 4 things. The first one is define critical needs and goals. Goals are always important. The business goals and the business objectives should drive any technology project. Number 2, fill out the build versus buy matrix. I have a link in the description. You can check that out. Number 3, calculate long and short-term costs, and then also document the risks. And number 4, validate your thoughts with the key questions and pilot results. So an MVP or a prototype or proof of concept, probably even, to see if this is going to work for you. Okay, so using this framework will help you better decide, well, should you build it or should you buy it? Because both have risks and both have benefits. There's never one size fits all. I've been doing consulting for 15, 20 years, and it depends. That's always the answer, because you can't say what works all the time, because nothing works all the time. And there's some things that you can do that always work, but it's more of a framework than a decision. Hope you found this useful. I have a link in the description. Book 15 minutes with me. I'd love to see how you're doing and how I could help you out. And like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you again next time.